Ladies and gentlemen, are you prepared? Are you ready to be gaslit beyond your wildest dreams? Well, you're in the right place. Here we go again, boys, as the brand new FC 26 trailer came out last week, and yes, it has took my time to get to this, but I have got to it eventually. People want to know my thoughts and opinions about this, and I will do the best I can to tell you how I really think. So I watched it, and considering after a week 7.5 million people have also watched it, FIFA still has some interest in it, of course. It always will. When we're looking at how other games have done, like UFL or like eFootball/PES, Football Manager has completely died in the last year. Football games are kind of going through a bit of a bad run right now. So looking at the trailer here, and in reality, when you're looking at it, this is in theory the best marketing strat I've ever seen in my life. This is genius. EA are geniuses, and that's the worst part of it all, is that they've got me. They've got my attention. The idea of, hey, we're making a game that is completely with your feedback. All these things that you said you want to change, we're gonna change it. And the reality is, they may change maybe one or two things, but I have no doubt in my mind that whatever gameplay that you may get at the start of the game, it would be changed within a month or two due to pitch notes. It's just going to happen. There will be a patch after 2 months or so that's going to make the gameplay feel completely different to what it is at the start, and will eventually make it worse. Now the reality is, if you're someone that just plays career mode and you play it from time to time, play with your friends, you enjoy FIFA, it has its place, of course. Like, it is, without a doubt, the most realistic, like, best way of playing a football game out there, by a mile. The authenticity of it, the leagues, the graphics. It's only for losers like me that used to take the game too seriously and spend almost every waking hour playing FUT that it meant something to me. But I guess that's not everyone. That's the important thing here. To most people, they don't even play the game that much. And the kind of community that plays the game nearly every day, doing SBCs every day, is, I'll be honest, part of the minority. Now, yes, when you look at the gameplay here, does it look the same as every FIFA you played beforehand? Yeah, absolutely. It looks the exact same as every FIFA. But do you blame them? Look at the graphics. How can you actually get better graphics than this, in theory? Graphics-wise, it's amazing. Realistic-wise, it's amazing. For me, that's part of the issue in terms of what I would want in a football game. I would rather have it have a bit less graphics, you know, let's say back to FIFA 19, 18, you know, it's still fine, but I want it to be more responsive. That appears to be the main thing they're talking about, which is responsive gameplay. Now, I looked at the pitch notes here, and I found it really interesting that they talk about how it looked like they were going to give you an actual detailed analysis of why you get delayed gameplay, inconsistent gameplay. For me, that is the #1 main issue about FIFA for me, is that I can play one game, the players feel great, and then the next game I play, and they feel absolutely trash. It completely demotivates me and demoralizes me to not bother playing again, because why would I spend hours to make this player through, let's say, evolution, to then have them play nothing like how they play in squad battles, you know, that I played them in, to get them done in the first place. If the player feels nothing like how they should feel, and it's due to no fault of my own, and then I look at the pitch notes and they say, yeah, so how about you just get a better cable? How about you just get better internet? No, like, the problem is clearly you, because it has always been like this. Now, at the bottom of there, they put in a nice bit of information. Now, the reality is, every FIFA that's gone by, they've added in more animations and more animations. And in my opinion, these animations make the game much worse. This hypermotion technology BS, it's making the game more delayed, more sluggish. I don't enjoy that. For career mode, I can get it. I get why they want it that way. But for FUT, it's awful. Now, they've gone into how they're going to have a competitive gameplay for FUT and clubs, and also a authentic gameplay for career mode. I think that is a step in the right direction. However, the main issue is one thing mainly, which is animations. Now, in the animation tabs here, they go into how there is circumstances that animations can make players more delayed, that it can get in the way of how responsive they can be. They openly admit this here. That's progress, right? That's progress. There's an issue that below that, they also say that they're adding over 100 new animations to get rid of this problem. So let me get it straight. So you're adding more animations over time, which makes the game more delayed and sluggish, because the players, instead of just passing the ball immediately when you press A or X to pass the ball, instead they want to make it look nicer and smoother by forcing an animation so that it looks a bit better. But Because of that, the game actually needs to, like, in its system, pick which animation for that particular moment. It delays it, so then the gameplay is more unresponsive. So what they're going to do to get rid of all these new animations and make the game more unresponsive is to add more animations to make it more responsive. Explain to me how that makes any sense. I want you to remove animations to make them more responsive, not add more. That makes zero sense to me. I do find it interesting, however, that they're advertising the main thing being competitive versus authentic gameplay. However, when you look at career mode, this has always been in the game. Like, they already had a setting on career mode that changes the gameplay from simulation to competitive. Like, that was already a thing in the game. So, again, it's like another example of, like, on paper, it's like, okay, well, that means that, you know, we can play the game in FT and it's a lot faster, but that's already a thing in the game. So, I don't really know the point of this. And at the same time, it's like, I feel like a lot of things here could have just been done in updates. Do you really need a new £100 game or £80 game for most of this? You don't. At this stage, I wish that the game was just free to play, and then, of course, whatever money they'll make from the packs anyway, people still buy packs because people are still stupid. I don't know, I feel like a lot of these updates can just be done with updates and patches in the game. You know, like faster gameplay, authentic competitive gameplay in FET. I feel like most of this can still be done just in an update. One of my favorite comments online I saw was someone saying, "I'll eat my own arm before I buy this." The first thing you see is about interceptions or tackles or bounce backs at interceptions. I mean, I don't trust a single thing this says. I think that it's all RNG anyway. And if you go for a tackle, sometimes you get the ball, sometimes you don't. And that's going to be the truth of matter anyway. For me, this doesn't even matter. Apparently there's more agility and more pace and better dribbling, more dynamic dribbling, responsive dribbling. I mean, in my opinion, lads, I think you could get this in the game anyway. It's just most time you can't because the gameplay is just unresponsive. It says there's a goalkeeper overhaul. Again, they've always had a goalkeeper overhaul. They've always talked about that. Nothing new to me. I just look at it and I'm just looking at the gameplay samples that they're using, and I'll be honest, man, I think you can already get this in the game if you get, you know, responsive gameplay already. I think this is already something that you can get in FC 25. From what I'm seeing, it looks no different to what you can do in squad battles. I'm seeing there's more additions to career mode. There's live start points and there's challenges and so on and so forth. So if you want to, let's say, in October, I don't know, Burnley, for example, or Sucking in Premier League, you could do a career mode with them from that point of where they're on a campaign and try and keep them up. That's probably the idea I get that they're going to have here. Playing career mode for me, and maybe it's just because I'm older, but, you know, it does get quite repetitive. Like, I enjoy playing it at maybe a season or two. I can try to take it seriously. Then it gets to a stage where, like, you just kind of lose interest. However, I must say, I really hope there's more to career mode than just challenges in manager and player career. From what we can see in the features, that appears to be all they say. But I really hope this changes because it's underwhelming for me. Like, if you're asking me what would I want in career mode, I would want historical stat data. I want to see how players do over time. For example, in a Football Manager, you seem to always see how to do year by year. I want to see that. I want to see sponsors that actually impact your transfer and wage budget. I want to see the transfer overhaul be actually realistic. If I see John McGinn signing for Real Madrid one more time, I'm going to lose my shit. If I see Harry Maguire go to Bilbao, I'm going to keep laughing. If they want a game to feel more important, the kind of animations and cutscenes you get for a typical friendly seems to be the same feeling for a normal league match. The interviews are trash and basically the same thing each time, and the fact that, I'm sorry, but we need a National League in the game. The fact that there's no National League for RTG by this stage of our lives is actually a joke. Why can it be in FM but not in FIFA? It makes no sense to me. There's also the new icons as well. So there's some players here which makes me feel incredibly old. So there's like Totti here, okay? Chiellini's here, of course Latan's here as well. Iniesta, Marcelo, Cruz, Alex Morgan. Like, you know, I'm seeing Iniesta and Chiellini as icons in the game, and Christ almighty, I feel like I'm 50 years of age, because like this is stupid to me now. One thing that I've seen which I actually like the look of is, of course, Ultimate Team tournaments, DKTs, daily knockout tournaments. I hope they do this correctly. I really hope they do, because for me, this is a mode which is absolutely necessary in the game because of how the kind of competitive edge of the game just completely sucks the life out of you. But at the same time, I'm looking at this and it's like, I'm looking at the gameplay, I can see some leaks of the menus, and I saw this link in the menu because I think it's from one of the promotional tabs of Zlatan. By the way, look at this image of Zlatan, by the way. Is it just me, but does it just look completely off, like it's been too photoshopped in? It's meant to be a rendition of this old picture of Zlatan back when I was younger, but there's something just off about this completely for me. But you can see on the screen, there's like an image of the menus. I presume it's from this FIFA, I'd imagine. And I wish, you know, there was still some more personality there. You know, again, I've always said it, but FIFA 19 had its own look, its own feel. FIFA 19 was the blue one, and 20 was the pink one. 17 was yellow, 18 was kind of like a kind of purpley, kind of dark blue one. You know, like each FIFA had its own personality. I kind of feel like that since FIFA 21 onwards, they've kind of all felt the same. The menu-wise, they've all kind of blurred into the same thing. Now, of course, they all have different menu changes, but not color-wise. I think that's one thing I would like. And that's a thing that I kind of care about, to make each FIFA feel like its own identity. But I guess that's not an important thing. And you know what gets me is the fact that FIFA's actually not bad for the first 2-3 weeks. And then once it kind of hits, you know, October, mid-October, that's when I start to lose interest. So, like, I do enjoy it. That's the thing. This is the issue for me. I enjoy playing FIFA for the first, like, 2 weeks. The kind of feeling of progression of upgrading your team, it feels worthwhile. Whatever objectives you do, SBCs you do, it feels like it makes a difference, because it does for the first 2 weeks or so. The first FUT champions or whatever, feels like it makes a big difference to your team. And then very, very, very fast, it feels so just like repetitive. And that it feels like you're kind of stuck in a cycle where you've kind of got to keep going. Otherwise, you fall behind the curve so much. So comment down below your thoughts. Look, you're going to probably still buy the game anyway. I usually, in the last 2 years, get the game given for free due to my network. So I'll probably still get the game. I may play it for the first 2-3 weeks. And then, like usual, not touch it for a couple months. Maybe play it for around Team of the Year for maybe another a week or two. And then not touch it again, like what I've done this year. That's my plan. Tell me yours down below. See ya.